No one is more surprised than I am to be here in this moment. But I trust the will of the Force. If you listen with an open mind, we felt something we'd lost for a long time. Hope. You must not only know when to fight, but when to retreat, or even to make peace with your foe. I led the fight to save the Republic from Zakul. Nothing prepared me to face that enemy. I failed. Again and again. I sent Jedi to fight an enemy I didn't understand. Because I believed in the justness of my cause. Those deaths still haunt me. I gave myself to the will of the Force. Jedi approach the Force as a companion, and Sith try to enslave it. Light and dark exist in perfect balance. Our time has passed. This is your war to fight. You will decide the fate of the Jedi, the Republic, the galaxy. You have a destiny to fulfill. Your success or failure will not merely decide the galaxy's fate. It will change everything, forever. We'll show you a path. You'll find your own way.
Satele Shan is a human female born on the world of Brental 5. As the name suggests, Satele is indeed related to the Jedi known as Bastila Shan, and in turn, also Revan. Satele was born in the year of 3699 BBY. This makes Satele roughly 74 years old in the most modern timeline of the Old Republic game. Her early life is very similar to the stories of other recruited young Padawans. Satele was brought into the Order with what was likely to be high expectations given the fact she descended from what they know as legends. Satele Shan was taken under the wing of a Jedi Master named Darnala. Under Master Darnala's study, she was able to achieve the rank of Jedi Knight. After this promotion in rank, Satele was sent to the orbital station of Korriban to be further trained by another Jedi Master. This one in particular was the Jedi Battle Master Cao Chen Darak. As we know, on this station is where we witnessed the awesome return of the Sith Empire. This means Satele Shan achieved the rank of Jedi Knight when she was roughly 18 years old, and was this old when she fought Malgus and his master Darth Vindican. Fun fact, Malgus himself was 19 years old during this fight, likely making him one of the youngest Sith Lords ever to kill their own master.
Welcome home.
If you want to learn about the Old Republic and its lore, then be sure to check out my Explained playlist, as the Old Republic is our speciality. Back to Satele. As we know from the CGI trailers, Satele's new master, Cao Chen Darak, was slain in battle while she herself was able to escape with the help of a Republic commander named Jace Malcolm and a scoundrel named Nico Akar. They were able to return to safe territory and warn the Republic of the Sith Empire's return. Satele was later taken under the wing of Jedi Master Nagani Zur. At this point in time, the galaxy had plunged into war against the Sith Empire. Satele was able to exceed the Jedi Order's expectations of her, and was seen to many as the very symbol of what being a Jedi was, almost as if she were the living incarnation of the light side itself. Satele herself was more modest, but her capability could not be questioned. In 3667 BBY, the Battle of Alderaan took place. Darth Malgus had led an assault on Alderaan that almost left it in crumbles. However, Jace Malcolm and his Havoc Squad were still alive on the surface, and begun a guerrilla warfare against the Sith within the forests. As we know, Satele joins this battle and helps Havoc Squad claim victory. What's important here is that it was around this time that Satele Shan and Jace Malcolm started a love affair. This lasted for 6 months, but eventually, Satele sensed a darkness within the heart of Jace, so she made the hard choice to leave him and cut her emotional ties. No one knew of this secret. However, after leaving Jace and Alderaan behind, Satele had sensed through the Force that she carried another life. She was pregnant, and Jace is the father. There was no way she could hide this from the Jedi Order, so she came clean to her master, at the time, Jedi Master Nagani Zo. Because of Satele's reputation in the Republican Jedi, and the fact others saw her as a symbol of hope, her master had decided that it was in the galaxy's best interest to keep Satele's pregnancy secret. If others of the Order heard of this, they may see it as validation to attempt the same thing. Master Nagani Zo lied to the Jedi High Council and told them Satele was needed off-world for at least 9 months, to deal with a matter of life and death. Given the fact it was the time of war, the Council saw this as non-suspicious and asked no questions. This was the perfect cover while she carried and delivered her child. Satele knew that she wouldn't be able to raise a child. Her place was with the Republic and helping to defend the galaxy. She couldn't be a mother at the same time. She wasn't even sure how to be a mother, but her greatest concern of all was the fact that she already bonded with her child that was growing inside of her. A boy, she could sense him. Satele felt a love for her child that towered over all other things. She would do anything for him. Anything. And that is why she had to let him go. She could not risk the temptation of unconditional love. If she fell to the dark side because something happened to him, it could mean the end of the Jedi. Jedi Master Nagani Zo agreed with Satele to take the child and raise him. Her master was there for the delivery of the baby, even cut the umbilical cord. Satele named her newborn son Theron. She almost let her master name the child, but he insisted that she should name him. Theron was born in the year of 3666 BBY, making him roughly 40 years old in the most modern timeline of the Old Republic game. Satele herself was 33 or 34 years old when she gave birth to Theron. They did not tell Jace Malcolm that he had a son. This birth was kept secret for a long time. Exactly how Jace found out is something I'm unsure on right now. I'm pretty sure it happened sometime in Theron's novel, and I'm still working through it. I will make a video dedicated to Theron in the future. Satele then went back to the war and aiding the Republic in any way that she could. Near the end of the war, Satele was sent along with the other Jedi such as Aaron Lanier and Nagani Zo to oversee peace talks and the signing of a treaty. This was the same moment Darth Malgus assaulted the temple on Coruscant. Satele herself was in the room where the treaty was being signed. They were informed by their Sith opposition, Lord Barriss, that they held the Republic capital world. Satele had already sensed the betrayal, however, and lunged for Lord Barriss with her sabers. She was, of course, drawn back and calmed down by her supervising master, Darnala, at the time. The Sith Empire had won the war so flawlessly that they even managed to force Satele Shan to apologize for attacking Barriss before peace talks would continue, which she did the next day. After the treaty was signed, the Jedi were without a temple on Coruscant. While they waited for the Senate's decision on the matter, Satele and the rest of the Jedi Order went on a cleanup mission in important places such as Dantooine. Not too long after, Satele once again encountered Lord Barriss, who gloated over the Empire's victory. They did fight, however a peaceful ending occurred and they both walked away. But not before Barriss told her that she would eventually succumb to the dark side herself, as she was an heir of Revan. Eventually the Senate decided that the Jedi would not be allowed to rebuild on Coruscant, likely because they were now seen as a huge target and no longer wanted to be part of the Jedi's grudge against the Sith. This forced the entire Jedi Order to find a new homeworld. It was possible that they could have just settled in an already existing temple. However, the previous war had only just now come to an end, leaving many places off limits and dangerous to explore, along with the fact that the Sith had only made peace with the Republic. A Cold War still continued between the Sith and Jedi personally. Satele was roughly 46 years old at this time. Through meditation, the Force showed Satele the path through a hyperspaced lane that had been long lost in time. This led to Satele rediscovering the original homeworld of the Jedi, Typhon. Believing this was the will of the Force, the Jedi Council agreed to move the Order to Typhon and even promoted Satele to Jedi Master, which was long overdue as Satele was now roughly 48 years old. 7 years later, the Council agreed to make Satele Shan the new Grand Master of the Jedi Order. This was 2 years after the death of the previous Grand Master, who was killed by, and you're not gonna believe this, Braden. Yep, the dude who dies within 5 minutes of playing the bounty hunter story. This guy killed a Jedi Grand Master. Anyways, Satele goes on to mentor the entire Jedi Order and manage the ongoing Cold War with the Sith. So far in her life, Satele has not been defeated in battle, and has beaten some of the strongest Force users we've ever seen, such as Darth Malgus, and even helping to trap the Emperor of the Sith many years later. Satele even helped in the battle against her ancestor, Revan. Satele resigned as the Order's Grand Master after the Eternal Empire took the galaxy by storm. She did of course fight, but for the first time, she lost, again and again. Because of this, she forced herself into the arms and the will of the Force itself. This led her to Odessen and discovering the spirit of Darth Maul, a former rival and enemy from the Sith Empire. However, after arguing for a time, they both came to a new understanding. You see, both Darth Maul and Satele had been defeated by the Eternal Empire. Now they reflected on what needed to change, and they gave these lessons to the Outlander, who is the player character of the game. Using this knowledge, the player was able to overcome barriers that were holding them back, along with creating a new weapon. After the defeat of the Eternal Empire, Satele returned to the Jedi Order and they accepted her back with open arms. She was now much older and much wiser. She would go on to help mentor a new age of Jedi. Satele later helped trap the Emperor within her own mind, using herself and her students as bait to lure the Emperor in and expose him. We still don't know how Satele knew where to find Scourge and Kira when all of this actually happened, but I think it's a reasonable assumption to say the Force guided her there, as it seems to usually do. Satele was able to trap the Emperor in her own mind, while others, the Emperor's enemies, were able to come together and strike him down, once and for all. Satele was able to confirm that 100% for sure the Emperor is gone and that the weight of his evil had vanished. She also confirms that Revan, Mitra, and the other victims of the Emperor had all become one with the Force. This brings us to the most recent times for Satele. She helped us capture Darth Malgus on Elon and now helps to unfold the plot that surrounds Darth Nul. Satele's end is yet to be seen. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Please consider subscribing or even supporting us on Patreon. Thank you again, and may the Force be with you.